Alright, today's project, front wheel bearing, maybe rear too, I've got both new. Wheel was getting real hot and making some metallic sounds. I think that's what it is, the bearing. We'll dive in and see if it's anything to do with the brakes or anything, but let's get started. Step one, drop microphone. Let's loosen these up. Go with this universal. There we go. Alright, so now we get the wheel off. Next step is to get I like to get the wheel nut, the axle nut off next. And it's bashed in here to retain it, so we'll get that loosened. Alright, messing around with this, found this, Harbor Freight pick I've got, and that's maybe the best way I've found to get this metal of the lug of the axle nut pushed out. And I'll give it a quick shot with my impact, but I don't have enough power in my impact guaranteed, so we'll look at what we're going to do here. But let's try it. Reverse. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Take two here, I'll show you. Alright, what we want to do is flip our wheel over and gently remove the Subaru logo from the inside. Yeah, there it goes. Just use your fingers, it looks like. Don't break it with a screwdriver. Now we'll put our wheel back on. With that off, with it back on the ground and the Subaru logo out, we can stick our ratchet in. And there it goes. Whoopsie. Anybody else catch that when I did that? Bent the heck out of my torque extension. This is thin metal. I don't even know what this is from. But, whoopsie. Alright, next up we'll start to remove the brake caliper. I have a rather long extension on a 17 mil nut in here. But it came off easy. It's a little difficult with the bolt head across here. You got to really fit things in there. And as you can see, I can't even get this socket off now. Got to go back in with it a little bit. I will now get the lower one as well. Tap the caliper off a little bit, because there is quite a lip on there. You know what? Let me try taking the pads out a little bit, maybe. Yeah, let's try that. What we'll do is unbolt the carrier for the pads here. Well, maybe this is my problem more than the ball bearing. Well, the bearings. This caliper is really out. I'm having a lot of trouble getting it off. So I don't know if the caliper's stuck. It wasn't. The wheel was still moving, but I'm going to check this rear pad. So yeah, I've got a stuck caliper. I just ordered one. I can't push this one back of the dual piston. This one does go back, leading to rather uneven, if you can see that, wear on the brake pads. And this one, even though this thing just passed inspection in 3 months ago, this one is really shot. I think probably the noise I was hearing because of the deterioration there, and just torn apart. So I should have done these sooner, but Yeah, so now we're going to be doing brakes. I think maybe the wheel bearing is okay. All right. $250 later, trip to AutoZone. We got a completely remanned Caliper. Nice. Makes me want to do like all of them. And we got 2 new rotors, 4 new pads. So we'll do the whole front here. So first up, let's try switching out the caliper. Comes with a new banjo bolt and copper washers. Let's use a chrome socket on there. Okay. Fair amount of fluid came out there. Okay. Not bad. No. Rest there. Day long. Alright. I got my torque specs when I looked up in the shop manual, which I have. And so it's about 160 inch-pounds for this union or banjo bolt for the caliper. So I've got my torque wrench set to 160 inch-pounds. There we go. Oh boy. Bungee coming off. Alright. And we do have some brake fluid on this guy, so let's clean it up. That's going to take the paint off pretty. Bought 3 new bottles when I was at AutoZone because you can never have enough brake cleaner. What do we got here? Duralast Gold, coated. Ooh, nice rotor. Unboxing. I like the coating. Here in the Rust Belt of Pennsylvania, that'll help break-in information. Be glad to follow that. All right, I did slap a little fluid film in there. And nice new rotor. Just kind of holding on a bit with a lug nut. All right, next up is our new bracket. Love shiny new parts, I'll tell you what. So let's get this on. We have the original bolts here. Let me get a little anti-seize and throw that in there. I got my 2 nuts back there, 2 bolts. A lot of nuts. Oops, lost my leg. Is this metal? Yeah, something metal. Oops, missed. Want you in my living man. Okay. That lined up alright. 17 mil. And let's get these in here and then started and then bolted down. And what's our torque spec on these? 59 foot-pounds. Funny story. The shop manual has everything for the Brembo brakes for the STI as well. And last time when I was doing the other side, the Brembos, the caliper bracket, you torque to 114 foot-pounds. And I remember I got to like 100, and I'm like, this is insane. I can't get it. But I left it at like 100 foot-pounds. And turns out I determined today that it's Brembo and then everything non-Brembo. It's kind of funny worded in the shop manual. So yeah, it's only 59 foot-pounds. I'm Guess I'm lucky I didn't destroy some caliper bracket bolts on the other side. Alright, let me tighten this up. Alright, brackets in. 59 foot-pounds. It was kind of a bear to get this back there. You don't have much movement back there, but you know, you want your brake stuff torqued right, you know, generally. Alright, caliper can go on now. Oh, well, let's get some brake pads in there and lube things up. I got to get the new slides on here. New package. So that's cool. Oop, hey. Doesn't matter which way these go. It'll be like this. Does it matter which side has the longer flap? On my original hashed one, I could tell that this longer piece of metal on these was down, so the downside, so match it. Okay, let's crack open the new pads, boys. All right. Meaty. Don't new pads always look so meaty. Alright, and I've got a bunch of brake lubricant and even an old one that I'm using up from some Bosch pads to put on in the sliders here, in the slides. Yeah, it's getting down there. But with the pads. And we'll put some on the back, obviously, the back pads, so use that on there. Alright, slide it in. There we go. Alright, now let's bring our awesome new caliper into position. And we got the pads on. New rotors, got a little lube on there. Should fit on real good because the pistons are... Now, comes with new slider bolts. What is the dill pickle? And now I'm close. Okay. Let's see, I'll get my wrench. Alright. Side one done. And this was needing a new caliper, of course, because I got rotors and pads. Got to do it in pairs, so we're going to do the other side with just the new rotor and pad. Sure is a nice caliper. I should have grabbed another one. They were only like 85 bucks, this reman. Of course, it doesn't say Tokiko on it like the original does. Subaru Tokiko. Yeah, well, Brembo would be better. Maybe I'll just paint Brembo on there. Fake Brembo. Boom. Sharpie. Brembo. Alright, so now we bleed the brakes. I've got my little one-man brake bleeder. I love this thing. I always use it. Got it open. Let's see if I can get some fluid through. Let's see if we can't bleed this new Brembo fake. All right, I didn't film it. My daughter came home and stomped on the brake, which is working good. So I could torque this to 160 foot-pounds with my largest torque wrench. Sorry, didn't get it on film. Before I put it down, because you know the shop manual says, and I used to do this, just put it down on the ground and then torque your axle nut. But it says you can damage the bearing, which I do have now, but I don't want to replace if I don't have to. So it was up in the air when we did that. Now we're just torquing the lug nuts. I use 80 foot-pounds. Then the satisfying part, put this back on. Star of whatever it is. Ecclesiastes or something. Swing.